The Golden Bachelor's Mel Owens opened up about his feelings after Carol Freeman Branstein left the show just before their hometown dates. This happens occasionally, although the main reasons for a candidate leaving are related to their personal or family lives. Carol made the decision to depart due to her belief that they did not dedicate sufficient time to one another. I understand. The Golden Bachelor has had an intriguing season thus far. When Mel stated that 60 is the upper limit for women, things didn't get off to a good start. Tragically, he was ready to perform a show he had no idea about. The roses were distributed, though, after he recanted his remarks. Time is seldom an issue for Bachelor programs, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there are times when spending time with everyone is just not feasible. That was Carol's take on her developing romance with Mel. Because a one-on-one date was never an option, she ultimately had to depart. Since Carol and her family hadn't enjoyed much quality time together, she felt awkward about introducing Mel to them. She came clean about how she didn't feel pursued or appreciated by Mel the whole time. The shock was unexpected, Mel told Us Weekly. People come here for different reasons. If they feel the need to leave, they are free to do so, he said. He went on to say that maybe Carol didn't feel a strong connection and that she came to the realization that she might not want that guy. However, he does concede that her departure did alter the show for him. The dynamics of the women may have been impacted, he speculated. Perhaps someone else would have departed and she would have received a rose. Who can say for sure? He did express his pleasure at meeting her, describing her as a genuinely lovely and pleasant individual. The world of the Golden Bachelor has been nothing short of dramatic and full of emotional roller coasters. As a show that brings together older contestants looking for a second chance at love, The Golden Bachelor has captivated audiences with its unique approach, bringing a fresh perspective to the reality dating show format. One of the standout contestants this season was Mel Owens, whose candid approach and undeniable chemistry with Bachelor Gary made her a fan favorite. However, it was a moment involving another contestant, Carol Freeman Branstein, that truly shocked viewers and left Mel grappling with mixed emotions. Carol, a well-liked and strong contender, made a surprising decision to quit the show, leaving everyone, including Mel, stunned. Carol's exit became one of the most talked-about moments of the season, and Mel's reaction added another layer to the drama. The shock of Carol's exit. Carol Freeman Branstein was no stranger to the spotlight on The Golden Bachelor. She quickly gained a reputation as a strong, independent, and confident woman who brought a sense of maturity and stability to the competition. Throughout the show, her connection with Gary was palpable. She was someone who was willing to open up about her past, share her vulnerabilities, and navigate the ups and downs of the process with grace. However, during one of the most pivotal moments of the season, Carol made a shocking announcement that would forever change the dynamic of the group. After a particularly emotional confrontation and amid increasing pressures from the competition, Carol made the heart-wrenching decision to leave the show. For those watching, it felt like a bombshell. Carol's departure, especially so late in the game, left everyone reeling. It was not only a significant blow to the remaining contestants, but also to the viewers who had become invested in her journey. But it wasn't just the other contestants who were taken aback by Carol's exit. Mel Owens, a strong contender herself, was equally affected. Mel and Carol had developed a mutual respect for one another throughout the competition, and despite the competitive nature of the show, there was an unspoken camaraderie between them. Carol's decision to leave was unexpected, and Mel found herself processing a mix of emotions. Mel's immediate reaction. In the immediate aftermath of Carol's shocking exit, Mel was visibly shaken. It wasn't just the loss of a potential competitor, it was the loss of a woman she had grown close to during their time on the show. Mel spoke candidly about how she had been taken off guard by Carol's decision and how it left her feeling conflicted. Carol leaving, "I wasn't expecting that," Mel said in an emotional interview. "We had formed a bond, and I think both of us knew that we had a lot in common. There was a sense of mutual respect. So to see her walk away like that, it just threw me. I don't think anyone could have predicted it." Mel's vulnerability in that moment revealed just how much the contestants on The Golden Bachelor had invested in each other's journeys. While the show is inherently competitive, there's an undeniable sense of sisterhood that forms between the women. Mel's reaction underscored the complex emotions that often lie beneath the surface in a reality dating competition, emotions that go beyond the desire to win a man's heart. For Mel, Carol's exit wasn't just a personal loss. It was a reminder of the emotional toll the show took on all of them. The constant pressure, the public nature of their relationships, and the vulnerability required to put your heart on display all weighed heavily on the contestants. Carol's decision to walk away, though difficult to comprehend in the moment, was one that spoke volumes about the emotional strain of the process. Understanding Carol's decision, while Mel struggled with the news of Carol's departure, she also understood the pressures that led to Carol's decision. Mel, like many of the other contestants, had been pushed to her emotional limits during the show. It was clear that the competition was no easy feat. The cameras, the audience, and the emotional investment in Gary were all factors that weighed heavily on each woman. "I can't imagine the pressure Carol must have been under," Mel explained. "We are all here vying for Gary's attention, but it's not just about him. It's about dealing with everything that comes with being on this kind of show." Carol made a very personal choice, and while it was a shock, I get it. Sometimes you just have to protect yourself. Mel's response showed her maturity and understanding. She wasn't just focused on the game, she recognized the emotional complexity behind Carol's decision. The reality of The Golden Bachelor is that it's more than just a competition for love, it's also a test of emotional endurance. And in that light, Carol's exit made sense. Sometimes, the weight of the situation can be too much for anyone, regardless of how strong or confident they are. Gary's role in the drama. Gary's role in Carol's departure was also a significant factor in the unfolding drama. As the Bachelor, Gary was expected to be the anchor around which the competition revolved. His connections with the women were deeply personal, and his decisions ultimately determined their fate on the show. For Mel, Gary was someone she had developed a genuine connection with. But as she watched Carol leave, Mel had to reconcile her feelings for Gary with the reality of the situation. Carol's exit forced Mel to reflect on her own motivations and whether her connection with Gary was strong enough to overcome the challenges that the show presented. "I'm here for Gary, yes," Mel said, "but seeing Carol leave made me think, how much am I really ready to sacrifice for this?" It's not just about finding love, it's about what you're willing to endure to get there. Gary, too, was impacted by Carol's decision. While he had developed a strong bond with Carol, he understood that the emotional weight of the situation was too much for her. His reaction to her exit was one of understanding, though it was clear that her departure left a gap in the dynamics of the show. Carol had been a strong contender, and her leaving undoubtedly shook the foundation of the remaining contestants' positions in the competition. The ripple effect on the group. Carol's exit had a ripple effect on the remaining contestants. For Mel, the shock of seeing Carol leave sparked a new sense of urgency. With one less contender, the competition had become even more intense. But beyond the competition, Mel was left grappling with the emotional ramifications of the moment. "I think Carol's departure hit me harder than I expected," Mel reflected. "It was like a reminder that nothing is guaranteed. You can have a strong connection with someone, but that doesn't mean it will work out. The whole process is so unpredictable, and it makes you question everything." Carol's exit didn't just shift the dynamics of the show, it forced Mel to reevaluate her approach to the entire experience. It highlighted the fragile nature of relationships on The Golden Bachelor, where one decision, one moment of doubt, can alter everything.